Khan, and we are live. We are live. Shalom, Israel. Shalom. How's everybody's night going on? Good, good. I know this LA traffic has been tough today, but it is what it is. We're gonna get through it. Today is the Memorial Simon. Today we're going over one of our valiant forefathers and the courage that he had to stand up against the beast and overcome, and do it for our nation, and not only for himself, but for everybody. And we're going to go over that, and we're going to memorialize that, and we're going to show that history, and we're going to be thankful this night, and we're going to go forward. So let's jump right into it. I don't want to take too much time. Shalom to everybody online, everybody that's coming into the live. Lord willing, you're having a beautiful Monday, and we're going to jump right into it. Let me get First Maccabees 1:1.
Come. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, a Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
So we see Alexander the Great, and we understand that Esau is a low down, dirty man, but the Lord prophesied that he's going to be that guy. His blessing is a sword, and he's going to take over the world with it. You don't earn the great as your last name for no reason. So we understand that he is an Edomite and he is a low down, dirty, but the conquest that he did, it was great. Taking over kingdoms, doing all the things that he has done in a short amount of time, and being a young man as well. The Lord gave Esau that power, and he utilized it to the maximum ability.
Absolutely.
Shalom to everybody online. Happy Memorial Simon. Read that again.
Book of Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
So we see this prophecy of Alexander smiting Darius, the king of Persian and Medes, in the Bible. We also see it in the Apocrypha. Let's go to it. Let's go to Daniel chapter 8, because this is an important part of prophecy. Remember, the Persians and Medes had a huge province of 127 provinces. Let me show that real quick. Actually, get that. Start at Daniel 8:1.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 1. In the third year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at first. And I saw a vision, and it came to pass, when I saw that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam.
This is the province of who?
In the province of Elam.
This is where their capital is, their headquarters. Keep going.
And I saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Ulai. Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram, which had two horns, and the two horns were high, but one was higher than the other.
Right. So we know Persia and Media, one side was stronger than the other. And this is for everybody online. This was the empire that the Persian Medes occupied. This is their reign. They had 127 provinces. And Susa, you see the little red star, Shushan, that's where the capital was. That's the headquarters. Keep going.
But one was higher than the other.
Right.
And the higher came up last. I saw the ram pushing westward and northward.
So we see, they said the ram was pushing westward. Keep going.
And northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand.
Okay.
But he did according to his will and became great. And as I considered, behold, a goat came from the west, from the face.
And he goat.
Salakia. Behold, a goat. An eagle?
A he goat.
Salakia. Behold, a he goat.
So we see that this goat is Greece. And we're going to get that prophecy, but that ram is Persia and Medes. And it said it stretched from west to east. His province, his dominion was wide and vast. And we see that right here. We see that from Egypt to parts of Europe to the Middle East and stretched even further and further east. So that prophecy came to pass. But somebody came after. That ram reigned, but that goat came. And we just read in Maccabeus 1:1 that Alexander came out of Macedonia and he smit King Darius. Right. Keep going.
And as I was considering, behold, a he-goat came from the west.
And that west is Alexander's from Macedonia, which is in Greece. Keep going.
From the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. So
when the Lord was when Daniel was breaking it down through the Spirit, he was like, the goat didn't touch the ground. Meaning his conquest was so fast and speedily that it's like his feet didn't touch the ground whatsoever. He didn't do it in 30 years. He didn't do it in 50 years. World War II was what? 38 to 44, how many years? It was what, 7 years, 8 year? Come on. Alexander took over all these provinces in 3 years. He took over all this in 3 years. With no tanks and no jet and no fighter jets, right. and no bombs and none of that. Straight military skill. And this is where he reigned. He took over the same landmass. This is Alexander's reigning area, the same place as the Persian and Medes. He did the same thing. Took it all over. Keep going.
Verse 6. And he came to the ram that had two horns, which I had seen standing before the river. And ran unto him in the fury of his power.
Right.
And I saw him come close unto the ram. So
we see the ram had two horns, which had been seen standing before the river, and ran unto him with the fury of his power. Keep going.
So like it. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him and smote the ram.
And the goat smote the ram with his fury. We know that Esau has the power of the sword. We know that. That's his blessing. That's how he took over the whole world. But in this instance, Alexander took over all those provinces with that blessing. Keep going.
It says, and break his two horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him.
And breaking those two horns, you don't hear about the Persian and Mede Empire ever since then. Alexander took over and they was swept under the rug, and they was a lost art. Keep going.
But he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand.
And nobody could deliver him, because we got to understand. Let's go to hold that. Go to Psalm 75:6. Once again, shalom to everybody online. Happy Memorial of Simon. Lord willing, you guys enjoy this lesson. We're going to go from there.
This is the book of Psalm 75 and verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
So the Lord has done this. The Lord sets people up and the Lord brings people down. That's why nobody could deliver the Persian and Mede Empire out of the hand of Alexander and the Greeks, because the Lord did it. So everybody's saying, oh yeah, China's this, China's that, or Russia's this, Russia's that. No, the Lord chooses who's reigning and who's not going to reign, who's going to be in charge and who's not going to be in charge.
He does all things.
Read that one more time for me, King.
Verse 75 and 6 in Psalms. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
And just like how the Lord put down the Persian and Mede Empire, and he put up the Greek Empire, the same thing the Lord is going to do with this place. He's going to put down the virgin daughter of Babylon, and he's going to pick up Yasharallah under Yahweh Shai, and we're going to reign up forever. Right. Keep going.
For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture, and he poureth out the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
Oh, Salakia. I'm like, where you at? Go back to Daniel. My bad. My bad. I'm like, hold on.
Oh, shoot.
Verse 8, Daniel 8 and 8.
Daniel 8 and 8.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the he-goat waxed very great.
And Alexander, and the scriptures call him great. You know, I know a lot of Israelites got pride in that, but hey, look, it is what it is. He was great in battle. You know, he didn't get that name for no reason, even though he was a freak.
It was.
He was a great warrior.
Yep.
You know, keep going.
And when he was strong, the great horn was broken.
And when he was strong, meaning in his youth, in the top of his flight, he died. Brother died in his 20s.
Damn.
Imagine that, taking over the biggest empire has been known to man in the prime of your youth, and then you just drop dead because you want to be a freak.
Doing the most.
Well,
that's crazy.
You know, keep going up.
And for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
So out of that horn came 4 notable ones, and we're going to read about that in the book of Maccabees. I want to read this first to get that history and get that basis, and then we're going to jump to Maccabees. Keep going.
And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land.
Keep going.
And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them.
So we see Alexander took over. Let me share it again. Alexander took over this region. And then in his youth, in the midst of his strength, he died. And then out of him came 4 kingdoms, which is called the Tetrarchy. And we're going to get into who those 4 men are, but I want to read first Maccabees first. Out of him came those 4 men, those 4 generals. And then out of one of those horns came a little horn, which waxed great and was vile and inhumane. And we're going to get all that. That's all in the scriptures. But to all my fellow Christian brothers out there, Catholic brothers out there, the Apocrypha is the bridge to the New Testament. You must read this. That's why a lot of our brothers and sisters don't understand why Paul said there's no Jew nor Greek. That's why a lot of our brothers and sisters don't understand that, because they don't know, Shalom Elder, they don't read the Apocrypha. They don't understand that this was history taken out of the scriptures. And this is necessary history to know who's being talked about in the New Testament.
It is like a bridge, and you got to have that history. It was 500 years or something like that.
I believe it was 300 years.
300 years of history just taken away. So then you jump from
the
old to the new. You're kind of lost in the sauce. You
know for sure. Imagine that happened in America. You take away 300 years, and then you just jump to the 21st century, and you wouldn't know what happened, why we here, what's going on.
Exactly.
It's the same thing in the scriptures, you know. So let's go forward. Let's go back to First Maccabees 1:1 and let's read on.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
So we see the Macedonians smit the king of the Persians and Medes. So remember, Macedonia is all the way over here. This is where Alexander came from, and he came all the way. He went far east and got that dub. Man was on a mission. Keep going.
It says, and he reigned in the stead, the first over Greece.
And he was the first king over Greece. He was the one of one. Keep going.
And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth.
And he didn't put his sword down.
Nope.
He wanted all the smoke.
Yep.
He caught all fades.
Yep.
He didn't turn nothing down.
Yep.
Keep going.
Verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations.
And when he went through when he won those wars, he gathered all that money and brought it back to Greece. He brought it back to headquarters. Keep going.
Crazy. And so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
So that pride crept in. What's that? That's Obadiah. That pride hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. I believe that's Obadiah. Yeah, Obadiah 1 and 3. Right after Amos. Okay.
This is the book of Obadiah. Told you about this Bible, right? Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee.
Just like how the Lord, because remember, we got to understand Alexander is an Edomite. Hold on to that and read the latter part of verse 3 again.
Verse 3.
It says, whereupon
he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
His heart was lifted up. And that's the characteristic of an Edomite. When he up and he on, that pride's going to creep in. And it's going to be the end of him. Now read that in Obadiah.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
I can only imagine. Alexander's like, man, I took over the biggest empire that has been known to the earth. Who's going to bring me down? Who's going to destroy me? I took out the king that had 27 provinces that stretched from Egypt to Europe to the Far East. Who's going to bring me down? Hey, the one that's going to bring you down is the one that lifted you up.
That's right. For sure. For sure.
Read that again, verse 3, one more time.
Verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Right? Keep going.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle,
right? Even though you think you fly high and you the man, you the apex predator,
and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Saith the Lord. And the Lord brought Alexander down. All praise to the Most High. Now let's jump back into First Maccabees and let's go to verse 4.
Verse 4. And he gathered a mighty army, Salakia, and he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations, and kings who became tributaries unto him.
And they paid taxes to him.
And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
Right. So he caught a STD.
Yeah.
You know, bring a freak show out the Greeks are.
Greek the freak.
He caught a sickness and he died. Man. But before he died, keep going.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth.
Right.
And parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
So he parted his kingdom among them. Keep going. And these are men that he trusted, that he grew up with. You know, he parted it to four men. Keep going.
Verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
So after Alexander died, these four kings, they put crowns upon themselves, and evil was multiplied in the earth. Do we know the four men that Alexander gave rule to? The four men, one of them was named Lysimachus. He reigned over Thrace. Then he reigned over Macedonia. Ptolemy reigned over Egypt. Cassander reigned over Macedonia and Thessaly. And Seleucus reigned over Mesopotamia and Persia. And I say former because the power changed between Cassander and Lysimachus in history and time. So it was Lysimachus, Ptolemy, Cassander, and Seleucus. Those are the four, the tetrarchy that reigned after Alexander the Great died. Now let's go to verse 10.
Verse 10.
And remember, we brought out that Daniel 8 for a reason. The horn was broken, It was split into 4, and then out of that 4 came 1.
Right.
Bring it out.
Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root. Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
So I want you guys to understand this, that it said he was a hostage at Rome. I mean, Rome was starting to get their engine started, and they was coming.
Yep.
And yes, Greece was holding them off, but Rome was coming. You know, one that wicked root that sprang out of the four horns. He was up there. He was held hostage. He was a captive in Rome, but he came back down, and he was the king of the Greeks. Keep going.
Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men,
right,
who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow."
And the same thing today. Brothers and sisters want to cleave unto Esau.
All right.
They want to be like, you know what? I can't live around my people. I gotta go to Bel Air. Don't you know that they're gonna treat you worse there?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
They're gonna pull you over. You're gonna be profiled like Lord knows what.
Sticking out.
You know, they be like, if we vote, what was Republican is the red one?
Yeah.
If we vote a Republican, you know, Master gonna like me. Nobody give a damn. Look, when you guys know, this is a little sidebar, but the American people have nothing to do with inaugurating the president. If you're not a part of that electoral college,
right,
your vote means nothing.
Right.
If you're not one of those 50 people in California, your vote means nothing. I know our people fought to vote for all these things, but it was in ignorance.
And it's sin too.
And it's a sin. But if you're not one of those 50 people in California or one of those 2 people in New Hampshire, your vote doesn't mean anything. You know, it's more of like a census to get the people. But as of old, so is today.
Yep.
Our people consented with the heathen to go against the Lord. Keep going.
It says, so this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
So when the people got that permission, and when they sought after that way, they went to the king and they got the permission to do wickedly. But didn't the Lord say we should obey man? I mean, so like we should obey God rather than man?
Yep. And learn not the way of the heathen.
But our people forgot that. That's what happens when you've been away from home for so long and you've been indoctrinated into evil that you forgot that God is your king. God is your ruler instead of the mortal man that's on earth with you. Keep going.
Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
And this place of exercise was the gymnasium, which we did all types of sodomy and freak offs and that's where the Olympics derive from.
Right.
Wrestling and this and that and all types of madness.
Yep.
You know, they changed it up now. They doing track and field and this and that. But they probably was doing track and field just in their birthday suit.
Were they oiling themselves up before they wrestled, bro?
Hey. I'm pretty sure they did.
Right.
You know, let's read on.
God. Verse 15.
And
made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief.
And that's the thing. When you join yourselves to the heathen and wickedness is multiplied in the earth, you forget the laws. And then when you forget them, your children are going to forget them. And it's going to be a perpetual covenant of disobedience. And that's why. And even though they broke the covenant and they're uncircumcised in the heart and in the flesh, they're still Israelites.
That's the definition of generational curses. Right there.
And when you read this verse, you understand what Paul was talking about.
Yep.
You understand what Paul was talking about. To the Jew and to the Greek, to the one that forsook the covenant in the time of Antiochus. Keep going.
Verse 16. Now, when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude with chariots and elephants,
right,
and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt.
So remember, Ptolemy was over Egypt, and Antiochus was from the north. So he went all the way down south to get that land, to get that bread. Keep going.
But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death.
Right. So Ptolemy didn't have the stones. He got up out of there. Keep going.
God. Verse 19. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in the 143rd year and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
After he slew the inhabitants of Egypt and took all their riches, he went to Israel and did the same thing. Keep going.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar,
right,
and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof.
So he ramshacked our temple. He took everything out of it. After he went to go get busy with Egypt, he went up north and he got busy with us.
He looted.
Keep going. He took everything.
Verse 22. And the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver and the gold, and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly.
And not only that he took everything that was ours, that he also killed our people, and he was boasting in it. He was proud in it. Cold piece. That's a cold piece. Yeah. He couldn't just take our stuff, but he had to kill us and then mock us while doing it as well.
Right.
It's a cold game. Jump down to verse 29, please.
Verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector.
So after he left, he was like, you know what? Some time expired. Let me go tax the Jews. Let me go tax the Israelites. Keep going.
He sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Right.
And he spake peaceable words unto them.
Right.
But all was deceit.
So they sent messengers like, yeah, what's going on, guys? Like, you know, we understand that we took everything from you and, you know, we killed a lot of your people, but how y'all been? Y'all good? We want to be friends now.
Yeah.
Keep going.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore.
So our people being forgiving and loving people, we was like, man, like, what's up? What y'all need? We opened the doors and he came in and he ramshacked the place and he got busy again.
And destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
So not only before that, he ransacked the city. He took all of our possessions. He killed our people. He left. He came back with a smile on his face and with deceit in his heart. And then when we let him in, he burnt it to the ground. Keep going.
But the women and children took they captive.
And then on top of that, he took our women and our children into captivity. Keep going.
And possessed the cattle.
And he took our cattle. He took everything. The scriptures talk about, I believe that's in I want to say it's Malachi. Like, will he like even leave like the grapes of the leaves? Like, will he leave one thing? He took everything. Keep going.
Verse 33. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
So imagine this. First and foremost, you march through Israel. You go to Egypt. You take everything they got. You come back up north. You take everything we got. You kill us. You leave. You come back with a smile and ask, and with deceit in your heart, and then you ransack us. You burn it to the ground. You take our women, our children. You kill us still, and then you build in our city.
Man, that's cold, bro.
And then you put strangers and wicked men in our city.
That's cold.
Imagine that. I go to your house. I take everything you got. Then I leave, and then I come back, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I took everything, but now I want more.
Right.
What's more than everything?
Damn.
You know,
I owe you now. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And on top of that, I'm gonna make you pay tribute.
I owe you now.
That's a cold game.
That's cold.
Esau, cold MF.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. Let's jump down to verse 41.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws.
So on top of that, on top of doing all those atrocities, he writes to everybody like, look, everybody got to be one people. One nation under God, indivisible. Everybody got to be one. It's one body. Keep going.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
And of course, the heathen agreed because they don't have a God. You know, they just going with the flow, going with what's hot at the moment. Keep going.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king
and we know when the going get hot for a lot of Israelites, even today, they're gonna jump ship. You know, the thing I was teaching with teaching the elder last weekend, Jake said they're gonna die for the Lord, but can't even take off for the Sabbath.
Right?
How you gonna do that? How you gonna say you down for the Lord, you die for the Lord, but you can't even call off work? Yo, 8 hour a day, you can't call that off.
That's crazy, man.
But you're gonna die for the Lord. Lip service.
Yeah, man, for sure.
A lot of our people did the same thing when the going got tough, when the kitchen got hot. It was like, you know what, we're gonna go with Antiochus. We're gonna be all one people. We're gonna forsake the covenant, even though we're the best people on the earth. We're gonna forsake that and go with the hot hand right now. Man. But the Lord got the hottest hand. Yep. But we forget that when the pressure's hot. Keep going.
Verse 44. For the king had sent letters by messengers into Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
So he's setting up everything for us to forget our understanding and our heritage and who we are. That's why it's so important when you read the New Testament. This is what the Israelites were going through. So they didn't understand that they didn't understand who they were. Yes, they always will be Israelites. But when you've been separated from the feast days, from the new moons, from the Sabbaths, from the sacrifices, you forget who you were.
That's cold, boy. That's tough.
That's the bridge to the New Testament. Yep. This first Maccabeus, the first chapter, is the bridge to the New Testament to show you what Paul is talking about and who he's talking to.
That's facts.
Keep going.
Let's see.
Verse 46.
Verse 46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
And this is the thing, the heathen know what to do to keep us away from our God. They know exactly what to do. Give them some swine, take they censers, take the showbread, take the candlestick, take everything that the Lord requires them to have taken from them, and they're gonna fall away. Keep going.
Verse 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
And that's the thing. And Antiochus did that very well. To the end they might forget the law, and our people did. Yep. And look at it today. Our people have forgot the law. Man. Even to this day.
What they do, substitute religion for law.
Man, we substituted our feelings for God's understanding. Yep. Ain't that crazy? And then when we come to our people, well, no, you're putting yourself under the bondage. No, I'm not. I'm setting myself free. But our people don't understand that, though. Right. I'm free because I don't have to look over my shoulder and worry about my brother's going to steal from me. Absolutely. If he's going to sleep with my wife, I'm free. Right. Because my brother's under that same law. So I'm free now. Yep. But in the world, I was under bondage because I was looking over my shoulder. making sure even though my homies wasn't trying to get with my peoples.
Right.
But that's for a different conversation. Keep going.
Verse 50.
Uh-huh.
And whosoever will not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Right. And if you didn't want to get down with the get down, you was being put to death.
Yep.
And that's a beautiful thing. Stand up for the Lord.
Yep.
Easier said than done, of course.
I look at it like this. If one way or other, you're gonna go. You're either gonna go, by not doing it, or you're gonna go doing it.
Right.
You might as well go keep on, 10 toes down for the Lord, because you're gonna go anyway.
No, that's right.
Make no sense.
That's a great way of thinking about it, Doc.
Facts.
Yeah, you gonna die one day.
Anyway, yeah, man.
Might as well die without a blemish on your resume, huh? Jump down to verse 55, please.
Verse 55. And burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire.
And we see our people being dispersed. We skipped a couple verses, but they're being ran out the cities, drove into secret places where they can flee from the persecution. Keep going. And in the midst of that persecution, the Greeks are burning our heritage. They're burning our books. They're burning everything that we didn't bring with us. Keep going.
Verse 57. And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
And if you didn't flee and you stayed around and you was hiding and you was keeping the laws on the low, and they found out, they was gonna kill you.
Yep.
Keep going.
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month.
And it wasn't a one-time thing. It was once a month.
Man.
Hey, once a month, every month on time, go down to Israel and check if they keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. If they are, kill them. Damn.
Oh boy, no rest. You can't.
Jesus,
on the head, right? It's cold, man. But that's Esau for you,
man.
Don't they do that to you at work?
Man,
right?
No justice, no peace, no nothing, no rest, no nothing. Keep going.
Hey, you 1 minute over break. You know what I'm saying?
Man, 1 minute over your break, and now you get written up, huh? That's
right.
tough.
Yeah. Come on.
Boy, I be taking a long lunch. I should be written up already. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, verse 59. Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God.
Right.
At which time, according to the commandment, that they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
And that's the thing. Even they were killing the women that was like, you know what? Look, I understand it's against the king's commandment, but look, my child is going to be circumcised on the 8th day. If it comes with death, it comes with death. But my child's going to be circumcised on the 8th day.
Right.
Because that's the covenant. That's the mark. That's the token between us and the Most High. Keep going.
Verse 61. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised.
So it's I know Yatazah talks about it all the time. It's hard to unsee a child hanging from his neck. An infant. And then on top of that, they killed the children, they killed the mother, and they killed the ones that circumcised. There's a lot of our people dying for standing up for the Lord, for being under the persecution of Esau. Keep going. And remember, what did Esau say to Jacob? When after the mourning of my father, I'm going to slay my brother.
Right.
Esau didn't initially kill Jacob then, but that spirit got transferred into his children.
The whole nation.
And the whole nation has been killing us ever since then.
Yep.
Keep going.
Verse 62. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
They was like, we're going to stand on business. Keep going.
Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was a great wrath upon Israel.
It was like, look, that first day of the month is coming. We're not finna bend. We're not finna lie. We're not finna do nothing. We're going to stand for the Lord. And if that comes with death, that comes with death. And that's an honorable thing. That's a beautiful honor. That's a mighty honorable thing. Let's go to the next chapter.
Chapter 2, verse 1.
Come.
In those days rose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Dorib from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin.
So this is a family of priests. Mattathias is the father. This is the family of priests. Keep going.
And he had 5 sons. Johanan called Cadiz, Simon called Thassi.
And this is who tonight's about. Keep going.
Judas, who was called Maccabeus. Eleazar called Abaron, and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphus.
Come. So this man had 5 sons, and tonight is Simon's night. Keep going.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me. Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the land of strangers.
You got to understand, this man is a priest. He's of that lineage, and he's seeing the communication between us and the Most High being defiled and being destroyed and being trodden down and being stripped naked. He's seeing this, and he's like, woe is me. Destruction is me. Why I got to see this? Why me? You know, drop down to verse 12.
Verse 12. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it.
Right?
To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer?
He's like, man, what's the point of living? Our communication to the Most High is cut off. Everything is destroyed. Like, what's the point of living anymore? Keep going.
Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourned very sore. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city of Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren.
So the officer of the Greeks was like, hey, man, look, we coming down to do a sacrifice. You a great man. Your word is respected in this place. Come in. Let me talk to you real quick. Keep going.
Now, therefore, come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done.
He's like, look, come here, man. Come do this. Keep the king's commandment and live, bro. Your word will influence the people for them to do it as well. You and your sons. Keep going.
And yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remained in Jerusalem, so that thou and thy house be in number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
Man, he's like, look, if you do this, you're going to be the king's friend, and you're going to get the bag.
Then Mattathias answered and spake.
Salakia, imagine that.
My bad.
Hey, if you break the Sabbath, you're going to be Donald Trump's best friend. Never keep the Sabbath again. You're going to be Donald Trump's best friend. And every month, we're going to drop $1 million in your bank account. Just forsake the Lord.
Oh, no, bro.
Just forsake the Lord.
I'm good.
That was presented to him.
Good.
Gold and riches, and you could be the king's friend. You could be on that new plane that Donald Trump got. Who made him a new plane? Qatar, yeah. Big old jet. You know, he said that's gonna be the new Air Force One. You know, you guys haven't watched the movie Air Force One, it's very good. Just a little sidebar, but it's a good movie. But yeah, that's what he was presented with. And man, look, do this sacrifice, do these things. You're gonna be the king's friend. You're gonna get this bread. Keep going.
Verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away, every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
So imagine that. Remember, he's being talked to, but everybody else is in attendance. And they like, look, Mattathias, do this. You're going to get that bread. You're going to be the king's friend, this and that. And then Mattathias is like, look, bro, me and my sons and my homies and my brethren, we're not going to do that. Now imagine this today. You can only imagine some Israelites like, bro, like, What are you doing? You messed up the golden ticket. Why you deny that bag? We've been wanting to be the king's friend, man. We tired of running. It's the same thing, the same thing of old. How we were murmuring. Moses, why you bring us out here to kill us? We was eating good in Egypt. Why you doing this? Why Moses going up there, man? We're man, make us gods, Aaron. It's the same repetitive thing. I'm pretty sure, and we see further on in this in this story that someone had that same understanding, and they paid with it with their life. Keep going.
Verse 21. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
Amen.
We will not hearken unto the king's words to go from our religion either on the right hand or the left.
Man, it don't matter how good the bag is, it don't matter how good the king is. We rocking with the Most High.
That's right.
Your money, let me get that Proverbs 11. 11:4. Because a lot of brothers, I'm telling you, down and out, especially living in California, boy, you miss a week or two at work, you're done.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
It don't matter how much money you have in your bank account. When Yahweh Shai returns, he's not going to be like, look, whoever has $10,000 more, you're saved. He's not going to say that. You can have no money, you can have the most money. It's about your faith and it's about your works. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
That's right.
And the righteousness that Mattathias and his family did, and he's speaking up for his brethren and his sons, that's the righteousness that the Lord requires. Keep going.
Verse 23. Now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment.
So in the midst of Mattathias giving his great speech, just imagine somebody walking across the courtyard, about to go do the sacrifice because the king's officer came and did it. They said, hey, everybody need to come and do the sacrifice. Keep going.
Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
And when Mattathias saw, he like, man, I just stuck up for my brethren. I just put my life on the line for my sons, for my nation, for the Most High. And yo sorry self want to go do that? I can only imagine. He felt all the blood going through his body. Keep going.
It says, now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment. Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled, neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
It said his reins trembled. The brother was shaking. The brother was shaking with anger, with fury. And he ran over there and got busy. Probably chopped his head clean off. Probably. Keep going.
Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. Also the king's commissioner
and the messenger. I know it's don't shoot the messenger. Shout out to MOTC, But hey, that day the messenger got it. We know. I know everybody's seen on 300. When he kicked him into the hole. Hey, look, the messenger got it that day.
This is Sparta, brother.
Keep going.
And also the king's commissioner, who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down.
So he got busy with everybody that was going against the Lord that day.
Absolutely. Thus dealt he zealously for the law of God, like as Phoenix did unto Zambri, the son of Salam. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city.
So we see right there, they slayed the king messenger. They slayed everybody else that was doing abominable, and they got up out of there. And everybody that was with the program. Now we know when the messenger don't come back, It's been weeks after weeks. You know he dead. You know, that's the only understandable thing that hey, they got him. So guess what? When you keep reading on, there was fights and there was skirmishes between Mattathias and the Greek army. Now we're gonna pick up at verse 28.
Verse 28. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that they ever had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there.
Right.
Both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because afflictions increased sore upon them.
Okay. So the heat was turning up.
Now, when it was told the king's servants and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David that certain men who had broken the king's commandment were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness.
So the king heard about the rebellion. He's like, look, I heard that they killed the messenger. I heard that they stopped, they're keeping the law. Now something got to happen. Keep going.
Verse 32. They pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they camped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day.
And remember, family, the heathen knew when we worshiped the Father. They knew when our rest day was. And they fought us on the Sabbath day. Keep going.
Because
the rest of the days we was getting down. But on the Sabbath day, we rested and we honored the Most High. Keep going.
And they said unto them, let that which ye have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and ye shall live.
Look, man, we got y'all cornered. Just do what the king said, and y'all gonna live. Keep going.
But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day.
And they was like, hell nah. We honor the Most High. We honor the Most High. And when you keep reading on, they got put to flight and they were dying. But then the weeks coming on, they were like, look, man, we got to fight on the Sabbath or we're going to be wiped out. We're going to be rooted out. And they fought on the Sabbath and they prevailed. Jump down to 49.
Verse 49. Now, when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, and the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. So
Mattathias is coming. He's about to meet his fathers, and he's about to give a mighty speech. Keep going.
Now, therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall ye receive their great honor and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt. Phinehas, our father, and being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Ananias, Azarias, and Misael, being by believed, were saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions.
Right.
And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in them.
In him.
Salakia. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none put your trust in him shall be overcome.
So Mattathias is giving a speech before he dies to his son. He's like, look, remember our rich heritage. When you put your trust in the Lord, you will win. He's going over Abraham, David, Phinehas, Caleb. When you trust in the Lord, you will overcome. Keep going.
Verse 62. Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms.
Don't worry about the heathen. They gonna get theirs. Trust and believe.
Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found.
Right.
Because he is returned to his dust, and his thought is come to nothing.
His reign is only going to be for a little bit.
Right.
One day he's going to die. He's going to return back to the ground, and we're still going to have the covenant. Keep going.
Wherefore ye, my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in behalf of the law. For by it shall ye obtain glory. And behold,
he said, be a man and be valiant for the law. Be a man and stand up for God. That's what he's telling his sons on his deathbed. Keep going.
Verse 65. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel.
So Simon was the one with the brains. Of course, all the Maccabean sons were wise and understanding, but Simon was the counselor. He was the one that was giving direction. Keep going.
Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
And he's going to be a father unto you. I'm finna die. Listen to him. Obey his words. Do the things that he asks of you. Verse 67. And that's who's tonight about. Simon, the counselor, the father of the Maccabees, after his father passed. Yeah, read it. Keep going.
Verse 66. As for Judas Maccabeus, he hath been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
Right. So let Simon be the counsel. Let him give the wisdom. And let Judas throw them thumpers. Let him do his thing.
Right.
Keep going.
67. Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
And look, everybody that stands fast for the Lord, go back and get some get back. Get some get back. I know our Christian brothers and sisters don't want to get back. Hey, but ain't nothing wrong with getting your get back. Ain't nothing wrong with running that fade back.
It's a righteous thing to the Lord.
Keep going.
Verse 68. Recompense fully the heathen. And take
recompense what?
Recompense fully the heathen.
What they did to us, do it back to them. Keep going.
And take heed to the commandments of the law.
But don't break the commandments in doing it. Keep going.
So he blessed them and was gathered to his fathers.
Right.
And he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the sepulchre of his fathers at Modin, and all Israel made great lamentations for him.
And the great man died that day. But before he died, he gave wisdom to his sons. He left somebody in charge. He left a general, and he left the rest of the men that was valiant for the Lord and stood up for the Most High. He gave them a speech to keep going on. Let me get verse 3 and 1.
This is chapter
3 and 1.
Chapter 3, verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead.
All right, drop down to verse 7.
Verse 7.
So we know, and this is not about Maccabeus. This is not about Judas, but it's going over because we did read about him slightly. We keep going. Verse 7.
He grieved also many kings and made Jacob glad with his acts.
Right.
And his memorial is blessed forever.
Right.
Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them and turning away wrath from Israel.
Right.
So that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth. And he received unto him such as were ready to perish. Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together and a great host of Samaria to fight against Israel.
So we see the name of the Maccabees being established here. They put in flight to people. They put in fight to the evil ones, and his name is starting to be established and going out. Let's go to 1 Maccabees 10, 1 and 5 and 1. 1 Maccabees chapter 10, verse 1.
1 Maccabees 10 and 1 reads.
Hold on, let the people get there. Hold on. Brother, quick on the sword. No, I know you good. All right. All right, go for it.
1 Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 1. In the 160th year, Alexander, the son of Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, went up and took Ptolemais, for the people had received him by means whereof he reigned there.
So we see Alexander, the son of Antiochus, he took Ptolemais and the people received him. Keep going.
Now when King Demetrius heard thereof, he gathered together an exceeding great host and went forth against him to fight.
But when Demetrius heard of it, he was like, look, man, we got to go get Alexander. We got to go stop him. Keep going.
Moreover, Demetrius sent letters unto Jonathan.
And remember, Jonathan is one of the sons of Mattathias. Keep going.
Moreover, Demetrius sent letters unto Jonathan with loving words, so as he magnified him. For said he, let us first make peace with him before he join with Alexander against us. Else he will remember all the evils that we have done against him and against his brethren and his people.
So Demetrius is like, look, man, we about to go fight Alexander. But before we do that, we got to make peace with the Jews. Because if he joins with Alexander, it's a wrap for us. So let's make peace with him. Let's write him a letter. And let's hopefully these soothsaying words can sway him over to our side before he joins with the enemy, with our enemy, Drop down to verse 15.
Verse 15.
So now, Salakia. This the verses we skipped is the letter that Demetrius wrote unto him. Keep going.
Verse 15. Now when King Alexander had heard what promises Demetrius had sent unto Jonathan.
So now Alexander heard of Demetrius' letter towards Jonathan. Keep going.
When also it was told of him the battles and noble acts which he and his brethren had done, and all of the pains that they had endured.
So Alexander heard of the letter that Demetrius wrote unto him, and then he also heard of the trials and tribulations that our people had to go through under the hand of Demetrius, under the hand of the Greeks.
Right.
He's like, look, I'm pretty sure he had a light bulb moment, like, ding, I could get those people on my side.
Yep. Right.
Keep going.
Verse 16. He said, shall we find such another man?
Right.
Now, therefore, we will make him our friend and confederate. Upon this, he wrote a letter and sent it to him according to these words, saying, King Alexander to his brother Jonathan sendeth greeting. We have heard of thee, that thou art a man of great power, and meet to be our friend.
Right.
Wherefore now this day we adorn thee to be the high priest of thy nation, and not be called the king's friend, and wherewithal
to be called the king's friend.
Salakia, and not be called the king's friend.
And to be called the king's friend.
And to be called the king's friend.
So Alexander's buttering him up. He was like, look, man, you about to be the high priest, and you about to be the king's friend. Keep going.
And wherewithal he sent him a purple robe and a crown of gold, and require thee to take our part and keep friendship with us.
So they're trying to sway the Israelites to one side, and Alexander's doing a good job. He's like, look, man, I heard about your trials and tribulations, man. I'm sorry about that. Man, look, be the high priest of your land. Put on this purple robe, wear this crown, bro. Like, be the man, bro. Keep going. And be friends with us. Salakia, verse 21.
Verse 21. So in the 7th month of the 160th year, at the feast of the tabernacles, Jonathan put on the holy robe, and gathered together forces, and provided much armor.
So Jonathan got fly in one of the big feasts, and he gathered forces together, and he provided much armor. Keep going.
Whereof, when Demetrius heard, he was very sorry, and said, what have we done, that Alexander hath prevented us in making amity with the Jews to strengthen himself?
So he's like, man, what did I do that the Jews teamed up with Alexander and not with me? Because he heard of the robe, he heard of the great riches, he heard of the things, the apologies that Alexander was sending out to the Jews. Keep going.
I also will write unto them words of encouragement.
So and Demetrius like, man, I'm about to do the same thing because I need them on my side. Keep going.
And promise them dignities and gifts, that I may have their aid. He sent unto them, therefore, to this effect, King Demetrius, unto the people of the Jews, sendeth greeting. Whereas ye have kept covenants with us, and continued in our friendship, not joining yourselves with our enemies. We have heard,
man, keep the covenant that you made with us. Don't join us our enemies. Keep going.
We have heard hereof and are glad. Wherefore now continue ye still to be faithful unto us, and we will recompense you for the things ye do on our behalf, and will grant you many immunities and give you rewards.
He's like, man, if you stay with us, we're gonna grant you immunities. We're gonna give you gold. We're gonna do everything that we're supposed to be doing from the jump. We're gonna do it now. Keep going.
And now do I free you, and for your sake I release all the Jews from their from tributes, from the customs of salt, and from crown taxes.
And so we see right here, Demetrius had our people under tribute, under taxes. He was working our people. So now he's trying to reverse it so we don't join to his enemy and overcome him.
Right.
Let's drop down to verse 31.
Verse 31. Let Jerusalem also be holy and free, with the borders thereof, both from tents and tributes. And as for the tower which is at Jerusalem, I yield up my authority over it and give it to the high priest, that he may set in it such men as he shall choose to keep it. Moreover, I freely set at liberty every one of the Jews that were carried away captives out of the land of Judah into the part of my kingdom.
So we see Jerusalem being set free slowly but surely. He's like, look, I need y'all on my side. I'm gonna leave all the slaves that I carried out. You're gonna have them back. The tower that I set up, you can have it back. All the tributes, you can have it. Like we don't need it no more. As long as you be on our side.
Right.
Everything's slowly being released back to us, to the Israelites, because Demetrius wants us on his side.
Right.
Keep going.
Gone. And I will that all my officers remit the tributes, even of their cattle. Furthermore, I will that all the feasts and Sabbaths and new moons and solemn days and the 3 days before the feast and the 3 days after the feast shall be all days of immunity and freedom for all the Jews in my realm.
So he's like, look, all your feast days, keep them, bro, with no sweat.
Yep.
Just join unto my side. Keep going.
Verse 35. Also, no man shall have authority to meddle with them or to molest any of them in any matter.
He's like, look, even my people's not going to touch you. You go worship your God. You can have your city back. You can have everything back. Just join my side. Go to verse 39.
Verse 39. As for Ptolemy's and the land pertaining thereto, I give it as a free gift to the sanctuary at Jerusalem.
He's even giving up cities. He's like, look, man, you can have Ptolemy's. Go for it, bro. That's all you. Keep going.
I give it.
So
I
like
give it.
That shows you how pivotal us being on his side was. He's giving up power and dominion.
Yep.
So he won't be rooted out and destroyed. Keep going.
It says, I give it as free gift to the sanctuary at Jerusalem for the necessary expenses of the sanctuary. Moreover, I give every year 15,000 shekels of silver out of the king's accounts for the places of appertaining.
He's like, look, man, look, y'all worship down there. Look, I'm gonna get you 15,000 shekels a year, not even from my account, from the headman's boss, from the headman's account. Right. You getting that money. Keep going.
And all the overplus which the officers paid, not as in former times.
Like, and you're gonna get the taxes too. Keep
but
going.
Henceforth shall be given towards the works of the temple.
He's like, man, you gonna get all this bread. You're gonna get everything back so you could build up your temple again. You could go handle business. Just join our side. Keep going.
And besides this, the 5,000 shekels of silver, which they took from the uses of the temple out of the accounts year by year, even those things shall be released, because they pertain to the priests that minister. And whosoever they be that flee unto the temple at Jerusalem, or be within the liberties thereof, being indebted unto the king, or for any other matter, let them be at liberty. And all that they have in my realm, Salakia, for the building also and repairing of the works of the sanctuaries, expenses shall be given of the king's account.
He's like, look, on top of the money I'm gonna give you, man, look, all the debts that y'all got, man, just chalk it up as nothing, man. He's literally giving us everything back so we don't join with Alexander. That's a cold piece. Jump down to verse 48.
Verse 48.
Salakia, verse 46.
Verse 46. Now when Jonathan and the people heard these words, they gave no credit unto them, nor received them.
So when this whole letter came back down to Jonathan, Israel was like, man, we ain't caring about what none of that fool talking about. We don't want nothing he say. Why? Because he first and foremost, you got us in tribute already. Right. You got us in slavery already. We paying taxes. We doing all these things, and now you want to give it up? Man, get out of here, bro. Kick rocks. You finna die, bro.
Yeah, right.
You finna die, bro. Read it again. Verse 46.
Now when Jonathan and his people heard these words, they gave no credit unto them, nor received them, because they remembered the great evil that had been done in Israel.
Right.
For he had afflicted them very sore.
Like, man, look, how you gonna offer all these things and you were just killing us and whooping us? Now you want to be our friend?
Now we supposed to forget?
Now we supposed to forget? Then get out of here, bro. You finna get yours. We join. Hey, matter of fact, we joined Alexander. We finna get with you, right. And everything that you gave us, we gonna take it now.
That's Israel. That's Israel too.
Drop to verse 48.
48. Then gathered King Alexander great forces and camped over against Demetrius. And after the two kings had joined battle, Demetrius' host fled. But Alexander followed after him and prevailed against them.
Right. So Alexander came up and got busy with him, and he prevailed him. He whooped on him. Keep going.
And he continued the battle very sore until the sun went down. And that day was Demetrius slain.
And Demetrius got killed.
Yep.
So everything that you gave us, we're going to take it too, and you're going to lose your life. Keep going.
Afterward, Alexander sent ambassadors to Ptolemy, king of Egypt, with a message to this effect: for as much as I come again to my realm and am set in the throne of my progenitors and have gotten the dominion and overthrown Demetrius and recovered our country. For after I had joined battle with him, both he and his host was discomfited by us, so that we sit in the throne of his kingdom. Now, therefore, let us make a league of amity together.
Salaki, that's it. So we see Alexander overcame him, and now we have Jerusalem back. We have that part of our nation back. Now let's jump to Maccabeus 12. And verse 39.
12 and verse 39. Now Tryphon went about to get the kingdom of Asia and to kill Antiochus the king, that he might set the crown upon his own head. Howbeit he was afraid that Jonathan would not suffer him, and that he would fight against him. Wherefore he sought a way how to take Jonathan, that he might kill him.
So Antiochus was cool. We back in our city, we chilling, but a new evil leader rose up, and his name was Tryphon, and he wanted to kill Antiochus. But he was like, look, if I do that, I'm gonna have to fight Jonathan as well, which is one of the sons of the Mattathias. Keep going.
So he removed and came to Bethsan. Then Jonathan went out to meet him with 40,000 men chosen for the battle, and camped to Bethsan. Now, when Tryphon saw that Jonathan came with so great a force, he durst not stretch his hand against him.
So Tryphon saw that we came with the business. He's like, look, hold on, that might not be the right idea. He's like, oh, hell no. He pumped his brakes very fast, but he had a light bulb moment. Keep going.
But received him honorably and commended him unto all his friends and gave him gifts.
He pulled a Chris Tucker. He was like, Lee, why didn't you tell me this man rolled like this? He was apologizing to Ricky Tan. He was like, hold on, brother. Like, you good. Hold on. Hold on, man. I didn't know you got down like this, brother. Hold on. Yeah, right. He received Jonathan in that host with honor. He's like, man, I know I didn't want to fight. Hold on, bro. Hold on, man. I didn't know you got down like that, brother. Hold on. We got some wine in the back.
Yeah.
Just come and talk to me, brother.
We're gonna get down tonight, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Just I don't want to fight no more.
Right.
Just come and talk to me real quick. Keep going.
43. But he received him honorably and commended him to all his friends, and gave him gifts, and commanded his men of war to be as obedient unto him as to himself.
Right.
Unto Jonathan also he said, why hast thou put all this people to so great trouble, seeing there is no war betwixt us?
I mean, why you bring the whole gang down here, bro? We ain't got no fade. Like, what you doing, bro? Like, chill. Yeah, we cool, man. Why you doing all this great trouble, man? Ain't no static. Right. You know, keep going.
Therefore, send them now home again and choose a few men to wait on thee.
And he's like, man, look, out of that 40,000, man, send 3/4 of them home, man. Just send all of them home. Just stay with a couple of homies, man. Just come and talk with us, man. Enjoy these gifts. Keep going.
And come thou with me to Ptolemy's, for I will give it to thee and the rest of the strongholds and forces. and all that have any charge. As for me, I will return and depart. For this is the cause of my coming.
Right.
So Jonathan, believing him, did as he bade him, and sent away his hosts, who went into the land of Judea.
So Jonathan hearkened unto that. He sent the men away, and he listened to Tryphon's words. So now we're going to jump down to verse 48.
Verse 48. Now, as soon as Jonathan entered into Ptolemais, they of Ptolemais shut the gates and took him, and all them that came with him, they slew with the sword.
So when Jonathan was going with Tryphon, it was a trap.
Yep.
And that trap was sprung on him, and those 3,000 men that came with Jonathan was slain. They was killed. Yep. You know, keep going.
They sent Tryphon and hosts of footmen and horsemen into Galilee and into the great plain to destroy all Jonathan's company.
Right, and then he sent after the host that was left as well. Keep going.
But when they knew that Jonathan and they that were with him were taken and slain, they encouraged one another, went close together, prepared to fight.
Right, and when the host that didn't go into the city, they heard that Jonathan was captured and everybody else was slain. They was like, look, man, we got to go get busy. We can't leave our brother like that. Keep going.
They therefore that followed upon them, perceiving that they were ready to fight for their lives, turned back again. Whereupon they all came into the land of Judea peaceably, and there they bewailed Jonathan and them, and were that were with him, and they were very and they were sore afraid. Salakia. Wherefore all Israel made great lamentation.
It's like, man, we just got to turn around, man. Like Jonathan's done, everybody's dead. Like we go there, we just be a part of the slaughter as well. Let's just go home. Just gotta take the L. Keep going.
Then all the heathen that were round about them sought to destroy them. For said they have no captain,
right,
nor any help,
right,
them. Now therefore let us make war upon them and take away their memorial from among you.
So like, look, the heathen was like, look, man, we got their captain, their father's dead, Jonathan's in our captivity. Let's go get them. They at their weak moment. Let's go get them. Let's go to the next chapter, verse 1.
Chapter 13, verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it.
Salakia. Now this is where Simon shines, and this is where his courage and his counsel steps in his wise wisdom. And this is why we memorialize this man, because he was brave. He could have laid down and died, but he remembered his father's speech.
Right.
He remembered that his brothers was looking up to him, that he remembered that Mattathias left him as the father figure of his family, and people was looking up to him. Keep going.
He saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, and went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together.
So Simon is seeing our people afraid. He's seeing us trembling and seeing death around the corner. Keep going.
And gave them exhortation, saying, ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, the battles also and troubles which we have seen.
And he's like, look, y'all know where we go. Y'all know who we are.
Yeah, what we do.
Y'all know how we get down. Yep. There's nothing we can't overcome. I understand y'all afraid. I understand that, you know, the end might be around the corner, but y'all know how we get down. Y'all know who we serve. Yep. Keep going.
Verse 4. By reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone.
He's like, man, all my brethren are dead. All my father's dead. My brethren are dead. We fled. We left our homeland. Everybody's dead. Now, Jonathan could have curled up in a ball and died and just withered away, but he stood on business. Keep going.
Now, therefore, be it far from me that I should spare mine own life.
He's like, man, look, my father's dead, my brother's dead. I'm not finna spare my own life. I'm finna get busy. Keep going.
In any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren.
He's like, man, if my brethren went out in glory, I'm gonna do the same thing. Keep going.
Doubtless, I will avenge my nation.
And just like his father said, he said, man, avenge the heathen. And he's holding to his father's promise. He's holding it down what his father told him to do. He said, I'm going to avenge the heathen. for my nation. Keep going.
Con. I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children, for all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice.
He's like, look, man, they killed our daughters, they killed our sons, they did everything against us, and we're gonna get our get back, and we're gonna destroy all of them. Keep going.
Now, as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived.
And that's the characteristics in the spirit of a counselor. He could galvanize the people. He could get the people fire lit back up. You know, he's the match to the pilot. He could get everything risen back up. He could get the fire started again.
Right.
That's the beauty of a counselor, of a good counselor.
Yep.
You know, he sees the people and he galvanizes the people, and now they're ready to fight again. They're ready to stand for the Lord again. Keep going.
And they answered with a loud voice, saying, thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas and Jonathan thy brother.
Right.
Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commanded us, that we will do.
Con. He's like, look, man, you are king now. You leading the peoples. We're gonna follow you into the death. Keep going.
So then he gathered together all the men of war and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem. And he fortified it round about.
So remember, we're in Jerusalem. Jonathan got that back because Demetrius was gullible. Not even gullible. He was desperate.
Right.
He needed us on his side, but we got that back. Now we about to go gather something else. Now jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. So Tryphon removed from Ptolemais with a great power to invade the land of Judea, and Jonathan was with him in ward. But Simon.
So Jonathan wasn't dead. His men died, but Jonathan wasn't dead, and Jonathan was in prison. Keep going.
But Simon pitched his tents at Adida over against the plain. Now, when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan, he meant to join battle with him. He sent messengers unto him, saying, whereas we have Jonathan thy brother in hold, it is for money that he is owing unto the king's treasure, concerning the business that was committed unto him.
Tryphon thought, look, man, we got your brother. We got him because he owed us some bread.
Right.
Come and get him. Keep going.
Wherefore now send 100 talents of silver and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is at liberty, he may not revolt from us, and we will let him go.
Like, look, man, you want your brother back, send that bread and send 2 of his sons. He's not going to buck up against us, and we're going to let him go. Keep going.
Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him.
And Simon knew it was a trick.
Yep.
It's a trap. They trapped my brother. They've been lying to us for the longest. I can't do this.
All right.
Keep going.
Yet sent he the money and the children, lest peradventure he should put himself great hatred of the people.
Like, look, man, I hate. People gonna be like, man, why didn't you do it? Like Jonathan could have came home.
Right.
It's the same pressure that Aaron felt. Man, make us gods. Thousands of people coming up to you, pressing you. It's that same pressure.
Yep.
Keep going.
Who might have said, because I send him not the money and the children, therefore it is Jonathan dead.
He's like, man, let me just avoid this. Even though I know it's a trap, let me soothe the people. Let me keep. I just got the people's spirit revitalized. I don't want to chop it off again. Right. Keep going.
So he sent them the children and the 100 talents. Howbeit Tryphon dissembled, neither would he let Jonathan go.
And Simon knew it was a lie, and Tryphon showed himself to be a liar. Keep going.
And after this come Tryphon to invade the land and destroy it.
And after Tryphon got there, he was like, look, since y'all want to do that, since y'all fell into my trap, I'm coming to get you as well. Keep going.
Going round about by the way that leadeth him to Adora. But Simon and his hosts marched against him in every place, wheresoever he went.
Tryphon went, but Simon matched him and got busy with him. Keep going.
Now they that were in the tower sent messengers into Tryphon to the end that he should hasten his coming unto them by the wilderness and send them victuals. Wherefore Tryphon made ready all his horsemen to come that night. But there fell a very great snow, by reason whereof he came not. So he departed and came into the country of Galaad. And when he came near to Bascama, he slew Jonathan, who was buried there.
So Tryphon couldn't come and get that smoke because the snow fell. So he couldn't fight. He had to leave. In the midst of his leaving, he killed Jonathan. Keep going.
Afterward, Tryphon returned and went into his own land.
And Tryphon didn't want no more smoke, and he went into his own land. Keep going.
Then sent Simon and took the bones of Jonathan his brother and buried them in Modin, the city of his fathers. And all Israel made great lamentation for him and bewailed him many days.
So we see right here, Jonathan died, but we also see Simon standing his ground and galvanizing the people, and he's building up the walls of Jerusalem. But what else did Simon do? Why are we memorializing this man? For his bravery, for his understanding, for his valiancy, and for standing up for the Lord. Let's get verse 31.
Verse 31. Now Tryphon dealt deceitfully with the young king Antiochus and slew him. And he reigned in his stead and crowned himself king of Asia and brought a great calamity upon the land.
So Tryphon didn't come anymore. He slew Antiochus and he ruled over Asia. Let's go to verse 42.
Verse 42. Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments.
So, Salakia, between 32 and 42, the people of Israel were writing to the surrounding kings asking for a pardon, asking, to be let go of tribute. Keep going.
Then verse 42. Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments and contracts in the first year of Simon the high priest, the governor and leader of the Jews. In those days, Simon camped against Gaza and besieged it round about. He made also an engine of war and set it by the city and battered a certain tower and took it.
So this is where Simon is starting to win back over Israel. He's in Jerusalem and he's about to go get Gaza back. I don't know if you guys see that online. He's about to go get that back. Where would he building up the towers and the fortifying the walls? Now he's about to go get Gaza. Keep going.
And they that were in the engine leaped into the city, whereupon there was a great uproar in the city. Insomuch as the people of the city rent their clothes and climbed up on the walls with their wives and children and cried with a loud voice, beseeching Simon to grant them peace.
So all the people that were doing wicked in that city, they were asking Simon, like, look, Simon, spare our life, man. Don't kill us. We know we was doing evil. We know we was going against the Lord. Right. We know that. But spare us. Show us some peace. Keep going.
And they said, deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to thy mercy.
Like, look, man, I know we was doing evil, but just have mercy on us. Yep. Don't you keep the law? Have mercy on us, man. Keep going. This is Simon taking over Gaza. He's winning Israel back over. Keep going.
So Simon
Salakia, taking away all the evil things, all the destruction of the sanctuary. He's taking everything back. He's establishing righteousness back in Israel, and he is a high priest. Keep going. He is from the tribe of Levi. Keep going.
47. So Simon was appeased toward them and fought no more against them, but put them out of the city and cleansed the houses wherein the idols were, and so entered into it with songs and thanksgiving.
So Simon was like, look, all right, I'm not going to kill y'all, but y'all got to leave.
Got to get out.
Y'all got to leave. Yep. Don't come back no more.
Right.
Keep going.
Yea, he put all the uncleanness out of it and placed such men that there as would keep the law and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for himself. They also of the tower of Jerusalem were kept so straight that they could neither come forth nor go into the country, nor buy nor sell.
So when Jonathan kicked those evil men out, he started building the city up stronger than it was before. And the people that he kicked out, he wouldn't buy nor sell to them. So guess what? He had mercy on them. He didn't kill them with the sword, but he killed them with famine. He killed them with starvation. Keep going.
And a great number of them perished through famine. Then cried they to Simon, beseeching him to be at one with them, which thing he granted them. And when he had put them out from thence, he cleansed the tower from pollution.
So he gained the city back. He gained that city back, and he cleansed all the evil out of it. And it was a long, hard fight. And there was a lot of death. A lot of his family died. All of his family died, Salakia. But he made it through, and he was faithful, and he held to for what his father said. Be valiant. Remember our forefathers. Keep holding to the truth. Strive for the truth until death. And he strove for the truth, and the Lord fought for him, and he won. And that's what we're memorializing. We're memorializing the valiancy of this man, the valiancy of this family, but also the wherewithal and the counsel that this brother held. And he didn't waver in when bullets and arrows was not bullets, arrows was flying his way and evil was coming towards him. He didn't flinch. And it's a sign that we should do the same thing. We know the end is coming. It's right around the corner. Let's not flinch. Right. Let's hold true. Let's enjoy tonight. But let's also remember that, hey, look, let's endure. Right. Let's get I want you to finish that all the way to 53, and then I want you to get Ecclesiasticus.
Right. Verse 51. And entered into it the 23rd day of the second month.
The 23rd day of the second month.
In the 171st year, with thanksgiving and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with viols and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
God, we got rid of all that wickedness in the 23rd day of the second month. We celebrated. Keep going.
He ordained also that the day should be kept every year with gladness.
And this is to all my brothers and sisters out there saying we don't have to keep the memorial. Simon was a priest, the high priest, and he ordained that we must keep it. Yep. It's not a Sabbath. You could go to work tomorrow, but you must observe this. You have to. Keep going.
Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower he made stronger than it was. And there he dwelt himself with his company. And when Simon saw that John, his son, was a valiant man, he made him captain of all the host, and he dwelt in Gazara.
So when Simon saw his son was a wise man and understanding, and he feared the Lord, he put him as captain over Gaza, excuse me. So my last precept, let's go to Ecclesiastes 2. Yes, Sirach, excuse me.
Which one?
Verse 8.
This is the book.
Verse 7.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2.
Sirach, verse 6.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, and verse 6. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
Mm-hmm. Which Simon did, and his father instructed him in that. All the people that stood up for the Lord, they cleaved unto the Lord, and they believed in him, and the Lord fought for them.
Right.
It's the same thing for us.
That's true.
Keep going. And our battles are getting Friday night off. That's our battles. We ain't got to fight against a whole city. We ain't got to fight against a whole country going against us. We got to fight about getting our Friday nights off and our Saturdays off. That's what we got to fight against.
Yep.
That's our battle as of right now.
Yep.
Not getting a damn COVID shot. That's our fight. And some of us can't even do that.
Right.
Keep going.
Crazy. Verse 7. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall.
And that's the thing. If you wait for the Lord's mercy, you're never going to fail. You just got to be patient and long suffering and have the fruits of the Spirit. But when you look to the left and you look to the right and you start forgetting the Lord, that's when you're going to fall to the ground. Keep going.
Verse 8. Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail.
Hey, if you fear the Most High, you believe in him, you're going to get that reward. And that reward that Simon received was immunity from the heathen, to clean in the land of all the vile, evil things that was in it, and getting rid of the evil men out of it and overcoming it. Yeah, he might have lost his family in the way there, but Jerusalem was in a better place. Israel was in a better place. Keep going.
Verse 9. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
And remember that, family. The Lord never forsook Abraham. He never forsook Moses. He didn't forsake Yahushua. And they believed in him and they abided in his fear. And he delivered them. And some deliverance was different than others, but he still delivered them. Right. It's the same thing for us. Yes, the end might not look as glamorous as it is, but it's going to be so beautiful. We just got to endure, just like as Simon did, and we memorialize this day until the chariots come. And then even when the chariots do come, we're going to memorialize it then.
That's right.
You know, Lord willing, everybody enjoyed this lesson. Everybody enjoy the rest of your night. You must keep memorial of Simon. And until next time, family, until this next Sabbath, excuse me. Shalom to everybody online. Lord willing, you guys enjoyed this lesson. Until next time.